Hello out there at Randoland. It is I, Nehan Tiger, and welcome back to yet another match in our A Link to the Past Randomizer tournament. We are in the group stages. This is a Group M match between Sailor Nep and prdwong. I'm joined by JP. How you doing tonight, JP?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to watching this one. We've got a first game match, I believe, between these two. Probably get some of the info entered here shortly.
Yeah, just to give a quick recap of where we're at. This is the second chance bracket, I like to call it. Sailor Nep was the number one seed in this group and had a close fought and tough battle against Scion T, who has advanced 2-1, and McLagging was versus prdwong was the other matchup. Wow, this is a very solid, and like I've been saying this all the time, but a very solid. There's Uncle. And we're off, but yeah, very solid, very good bracket here.
Got an early map check. I saw pendants at Eastern and Hera, with Hera being a green pendant.
McLagging and prdwong was the other matchup, 2-0 to McLagging. So this is game one of this. Whoever wins this goes on to play one more match to have a chance to make it to the next round of the tournament here. We got Bo to start with from Uncle.
Well, unfortunately, Eastern's a pendant, so of course you get the bow.
I'm kind of thinking maybe with that you are going to be heading to Eastern pretty quick here, especially since dark rooms aren't going to pose too much of a threat.
So you got I'm almost starting. About a 6-minute sequence here. I gotta get through the escape.
Yeah, this will be about six minutes on a good run, maybe 6.5 on a not as smooth run. But Nep and PRD are pretty well-tested veteran players within the community. I expect we'll see closer to 6 minutes from both of them. And that bow's going to help out a lot too. It's going to make taking care of these guards pretty simple, as we see there in that first room. Just 2 bow shots, boom, move on.
One thing we'll have to watch as I go into the escape is what the enemies drop, see if we can get some bombs. I still have at least 3 more chests, but one of those is guaranteed to be a small key.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be looking to see if an enemy drops either a small heart, actually I think a little small magic is actually one of the pools. So the guard pool does have bombs in it, but it's a bit deep. Oh, sorry. Never mind. The chat corrects me. We already saw a full magic drop from the guard, so never mind.
Of course, we're going to go down to Zelda's prison cell and do the whole regular escape here. This is hard mode standard for anyone who's wondering. On the game mode, get yourself a big key and a princess. There's that small key, of course.
So for bombs, their hope is either the Dark Cross chest or picking up something from one of the rats.
Yeah, those are both definitely options here that we might find. Always hoping for a drop, but I don't think they'll turn down Dark Cross having 3 bombs in it. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what we got here.
Yeah, even if they don't get bombs, this likely wouldn't hurt them, because for the most part, it's pretty rare that you're going to find a glove in the back. And that's like the only thing that's really going to burn you if it's back there.
Yeah, that would be kind of a disappointment if that was the case, but I think we'll see. Even if they don't get the bombs right here, we'll see them come back here pretty quick. They'll go to the kakariko and get the bombs from there, and we'll very likely see a save and quit at some point. I don't know if we'll see it right away, but they'll be back here to get those 3 chests no matter what.
So you got Sailor Nep getting to the, I think, the altar, or whatever you want to call this first. That's not really an altar.
It's a decorative stand. Of course, standard mode, that means that with the randomizer, you get the little lamp light here. The little, I guess it's, I like to joke that it's actually Zelda's tiara is doing the shining, but yeah, this is you get the little lamp effect here just because. Ooh, well, that's the fire rod, so that's gonna be a welcome sight, but maybe not as nice as bombs, but you know, still fire rod's gonna be pretty nice to have here.
Yeah, I think Sailor Nep's killing some extra rats, so I'm not sure if you saw something before that, Rupee, but if she did, there might be bombs in this pack.
That is the hope for.
No, she's not killing any more rats. I think that was the Rupee pack.
Okay. Yeah, Bo's gonna make the rats pretty easy to deal with there, especially the key rat. No fuss, no muss. And we're gonna see some. Actually, prdwong is gonna take a little bit more time to try and see if he can get a bomb drop.
Oh,
nope.
Maybe that wasn't, but yeah, no luck there.
537 escape from Nep. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good. 5.5 is you won't, if you get 5.5 on a normal run, you're pretty happy, I think. And I mean, prdwong is not going to be too much far behind. He's going to have a sub 6 as well. Both very good starts here. Oh yeah, it does take an effect that we don't have the secret room, so that probably good call there, Incoherent.
Got full magic from the bush crab.
Mm-hmm.
There's some bombs.
Hey! Nice.
Nep's going to give us a look at the Lumberjack item, while prdwong is going to just go straight for Lost Woods.
Mm-hmm. 2 items in Lost Woods. Of course, there's one up here on the Lumberjack ledge, just 10 arrows. So Agan not locking an item. Here's those bombs. Everyone's got bombs. Everyone's happy now. And Nep's going to go and venture on into the wonderful Lost Woods here. Of course, we just saw that there was nothing at the mushroom spot. Nothing much hanging out here in the Thieves Cave either.
Alright, so prdwong going to be the first into Kakariko. Usual Kakariko, we've got at least 15 checks between everything. Maybe a 16th if you get a bottle.
Yeah, it's a pretty item-dense location. Usually, especially in Standard, it's almost inevitable that everyone goes to Kakariko here. And there's a big 20, so just to mention, for those who are wondering what those green 20s are. Oh, and there's the glove, by the way. So that's going to put that back check pretty much back into play pretty quickly here. But the big green 20s, as prdwong picks up the big 300 in the back, so that's bottle vendor money. But those big green 20s are the placeholders for the upgrades that are not in hard mode, which are all the mails, silver arrows, one of the shields, and one of the sword upgrades.
So early on, we'll know that was either a silvers mail. Silvers or mail, most likely.
Yeah. If it was, so the way those work is basically for the progressive upgrades they're actually achievable. You only get the 20 when you've locked out any further upgrades. So if it was a sword or a shield, it would have been a sword or a shield. But yeah, as you mentioned, JP, it's either got to be the silvers, which probably it's not, but it's probably a mail upgrade. Those tend to pop up pretty early in a lot of these hard mode seeds.
So the glove is so far the only real thing we found in Kek. That will let me go back to the back of Escape. We still need quite a bit for our next step. Like, what's going to be the next check for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. General logic, and not like logic, but like the general play here is, you go down, you check the maze race, save and quit, go back, do South of Hyrule, and then you kind of figure out what you've got from there. A lot of times Eastern's a play, especially with that bow.
I actually wonder if one of these runners would take the chance on Eastern, because with a bow and fire rod, you potentially have a full clearable Eastern. The only chest that's not in logic is the big key chest. So if the big key's there, then you can't finish it logically. But beyond that, you might have a fully logic Eastern that could have something on armors.
That's a great point that I was just about to make, JP. But yeah, Eastern's in play here, 100% in play. Ooh, actually, but I think we're gonna deviate from that a little bit and get that bottle, go get Sick Kid in the mix here. It's always a good bit of logic with Rando. Do what you can when you can do it.
Yeah, in hard mode, especially early, I definitely grab that potion. Even if you don't want the safety, even if you don't want to, the safety is just too nice. I've seen too many races in this tourney so far, decided because, honestly, somebody didn't want a safety. And, as much as you can get by without the safeties, in these races, don't be a hero.
Yeah, it looks cool if you can do it, but, just logically, it's like, no, don't tempt fate, don't poke the pig, just play it safe, play it smart.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to get a Sick Kid check. They're both going to check this.
Yep.
Oh, okay, now Eastern is definitely in logic. That also puts up a couple chests in Death Mountain area as well. Yeah, prdwong going to go straight for the back of Escape. And looks like Nep's going to do the exact same thing. Alright, did we leave anything? I don't think we saw the map.
Yeah. Oh, we did see the map. It was in the second chest.
Okay, but nothing back there. So prdwong heading towards Eastern. See if it's just a Saha play or he's gonna go into Eastern.
He's going. I think it's.
And
Could do either.
Nep's going up the mountain. So we're not getting South Shore right away. Interesting.
Yeah, this is this is not necessarily what I would expect, but it's not at all illogical based on the items that we have.
Yeah, going up the mountain for Nep, it's never a bad idea because you at least get the save and quit point. So generally, even if you only get 2 checks up here, you're coming out with a wash at worst.
Yeah, I don't think either of these plays is necessarily. Now, one of them, in hindsight, we'll be able to say that one of them might be a better play than the other one. But with your item set right now, with the knowledge that you have certain things open, I don't think either of these plays is a poor decision right now at all, because it's not really going to be too time intensive. King Burna.
So Nep is going to get a look at what's on top of Spec Rock and then inside Spec Rock. prdwong's got 3 items in Eastern.
First one coming up here in just a moment. And it is going to be the map.
Just bombs on Spec Rock. In Spec Rock, we've got 50 rupees. So we might have been intended to go up Death Mountain, but we weren't, at least right away.
Right.
And Nep's now going to go more traditional South Shore.
Yeah, South Shore is kind of the traditional play here, and we're going to see Nep go over to the floodgate, open up the gate to drain the lake out. There's going to be an item inside here in a chest, and an item underneath the water, and probably then Mini-moldorm is the next play. Oh, that's a good start.
Yep. Meanwhile, prdwong found the map and the compass in the first two chests, so every other chest in here will have either an item or the big key. So I expect PRD to full play this at this point.
Yep, that makes too much sense.
Yep. So we've seen all three dungeon items now. All the remaining three chests are all items.
Yep. Chat's talking about combined randos, and last I just mentioned OOT, Majora's Mask combined rando. That just sounds like a 6.5 hour adventure.
Yeah, no thanks on that one.
Yeah.
I did SMZ3 Key Sanity, and that was long enough as
Oh,
it was.
my goodness, JP. I love both those games. I just can't imagine doing them both together as a randomizer. That's just too much. But and both the runners go and progress through the dungeon here for prdwong, going through Eastern Palace. Nep's gonna go check Agina's cave. Really game check, not always worthwhile. In this case, it's just to clear it off the map.
Yeah, but I see a lot of runners do that because it's the best time to route that in.
Yep.
Meanwhile, prdwong, nothing so far in Eastern. Just have one check left, and that's on Armos.
Great. And right now for Nep, she's going down to Mini-moldorm Cave, which is a 5-item location, and it's generally a favorite to go to if you are kind of looking for something, or just looking for a clue on where to go next.
Fire Rod makes really quick work of those.
Yeah, Mini-moldorms can be such a pain if you don't have something to take them out, like the hookshot or the fire rod. Ooh, Moon Pearl. Book of Medora. Yeah, this is second sword and magic cape. I think that was the play.
Yeah. So potentially clearable desert if it's not boots locked. We also have Aga access, but we're also one item from normal Dark World access.
And Mini-moldorm Cave, the new hype cave. Until it disappoints us.
Alright, so the question is, do we have something on Armos as well?
And this should be a pretty quick fight. I think we did see, just a big 20, unfortunately, and the blue pendant. Not really worthwhile to go into Eastern Palace at all.
Yeah, that's going to cost Purity some time unless Nep makes the same dive.
Which could happen, but we've got the access to get into Desert Palace now, so that is within the realm of logic with the Book of Medora. We may have a problem if the key's on the big a lot of people call it the torch, it's the lantern. If the key's setting up there, then we're boots locked. So we are seeing Nep is going to be setting up a fake flipper here. There we go.
Yep, with Moon Pearl, this is now much more attractive play. You can check Waterfall, and you can also potentially set up a splash delete if you need to get the Zora ledge.
Yeah, all things considered, though, with the even with the Eastern Palace completion, prdwong not terribly far behind Nep on these checks here. I guess the play up the Death Mountain and to Agina is probably about a similar time length.
Yeah, eventually prdwong's going to have to climb the mountain too, so
Yes.
that'll give Nep a little time back. Though at the same
Sure.
time, we could see like prdwong pick up a flute potentially.
Yeah, it's good. There's still a lot of things that can change here and there, depending on what players decide to do early on. Nep's gonna go, I think, to the little whirlpool here, and this will take her all the way up to Zora.
In terms of logical checks at this point, all we got left is Zora and what's in Desert.
Yeah, so I also wonder here, and this is me thinking, I did see a little discussion in chat about this as well. We've basically got the Aganhim starter pack with Moon Pearl.
I think you mean the Aganhim starter pack.
Aganhim, yeah, Aganhim is the final boss of the game. Aganhim starter pack. I was thinking Aganhim Cave for some reason, but yes, the Aga starter pack, with cape. You have sword. You're all set to go and fight Aga if you want to. Is someone gonna take the early decision to say, "Hey, I'm just gonna skip Desert Palace for now," and make the decision to go Aga?
It's going to be an interesting call. Nep at this point has basically the eastern area and desert open.
Right.
Let's see what she does. She's heading towards eastern. Now,
Okay.
some runners, this is just a Sahara slow play, and then they save and quit. We'll see.
Yeah, it kind of depends on if you decide just to check a location because it's available, or if you're kind of looking at the fact that it's a pendant dungeon, you may be weighing that a little bit and being like, I don't know if I necessarily want to dive a pendant dungeon even early. It's all very interesting with strategy and how each runner approaches the seed and reading the not only the item clues but the dungeon clues as well, as whether it's pendant or crystal.
Looks like Nep is going to make the dip into Eastern as well, so this is going to give prdwong a little bit of time back.
Mm-hmm.
Chet talking about punishment for early Gina. It might be a little bit because you have a little less incentive to go back over there right now.
Right.
You might only have one item available in Desert if that first chest has a map or compass. So it does take away a little bit of the attractiveness over there. Whereas prdwong will guarantee to at minimum have 2 items available over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're kind of gonna see a little bit of this back and forth at the start here as runners check locations. It's not a fairly linear seed right now. And by that, for those who are wondering what a linear seed is, it's basically a seed where if you get an item, it points you in a direction to go somewhere. You go to that place, you find your next item, so forth and so on. Most seeds will eventually at some point get linear, and you just won't have anything to do but go into dungeons and just keep clearing stuff out. It will be very obvious where you need to go. Early on right now, we don't have that. We still have some options on where to go as prdwong doing that lovely water walk.
We'll see where PRD goes next. At this point, he's got Desert, he's got the climb up the mountain. Also could go for Aganhim, but I think it's a little too early for that. Yeah, looks like going for Desert. As you are these runners and you start to dwindle down your places, you do have to decide: am I going to full clear the world, or am I going to take a chance on Aganhim at some point? I think you've already actually brought that up. But...
Yeah, we talked about that just a moment ago. I do think the one thing that might point them to Aga before venturing around the world and checking a bunch of stuff they don't need to is that not a whole lot really left to poke your head. You got Desert Palace. Looks like prdwong is going to be going to Desert Palace. I think that's going to be the play here, is Aganhim into Desert Palace.
Just gonna check this first in case it's the boots. That way you know you can one-shot desert, but we know it's just that single repeat.
Yeah, so if you're new to Randomizer and you're seeing some of these glitches, we're always happy to explain some of them as best we can. By and large, if you are wondering how a lot of them work, I always explain it pretty simply. This is the Randomizer is based on the Japanese version 1.0, a Link to the Past game, and TLDR, the game does not like when you do two things at once and it does some funky things. So most of the glitches, a lot of the glitches in fact, are based on the idea of doing two things at once. The game gets confused and spits something else out entirely.
It's a pretty good way to put it.
Yeah.
Alright, so first chest, whether you see an item here that could help them or a key so they can keep going.
Ooh, now it's going to be the Candace Samaria instead. Wow.
That's a good find, but that does nothing for us.
No.
Um.
So yeah, I think PRD won't. I think PRD is gonna. Oh no, you're gonna go to the back.
He's gonna steal the key and check the right side.
Yes.
So yeah, that game's a good find, but I think logically this is now an Agassi.
Yep. It should be now that Desert Palace's boots locked, which was probably the worst news that everyone would have thought here. If you're a runner, because you're like, oh no, I have to do that Aga thing. I don't want to do that.
Now the one thing with the key steal here that's a little risky is if the... Well, actually, not at this point. I don't think it really matters. I was gonna say if there's a small key on the torch, then you have to find the boots guaranteed. But I think either way, you have to find the boots at this point.
I think so, yeah.
So there's really not much risk to this, if any. There's a map. Nip is gonna follow into desert, so she's also gonna get that Samaria.
Ooh, ether. Okay. That's yeah, not a bad find.
So those are two items, so they don't need to come back until go mode. At least PRD doesn't have to. Right.
Which I would suspect if Meyer is going to be a crystal, and there's a very, very high likelihood that is, we'll probably see them back to back those two, just for efficiency's sake.
PRD deciding not going to make the mountain check, just going to go for Aga. So in this situation, as Nep gets the cannon leaves, in this situation, Dark World isn't too attractive yet. You've got the Pyramid Sledge, you've got Catfish, and you've got Eastern, which actually, or not Eastern, Pod, which with the bow guarantees you can clear out pretty much everything but Helmsor.
Right. And yeah, Castle Tower is going to be the only dungeon in this game where, if you're playing normal, if you're not playing Key Sanity, it's going to be the exact same as the vanilla. It's just going to be 2 keys in here. You need them to progress, so have to be here by logic. But for Key Sanity, you do see some players, people going into here because the keys are all scattered. You may have items hiding out in these 2 chests, and you may not even have to go fight Aga, but you might have to come up here and get those items anyways. Fun game mode. Yeah, here we are. We're just seeing our 2 runners progress up the tower here. Pretty standard play. A lot of these rooms are Doors lock, kill enemies, then you just go through.
You know, as you said, this is basically NMG. NMG being no major glitches, which is the main speed run of the vanilla category. But basically, you just have to get through here, and then we do have what would normally be a bit of RNG in the NMG run, but is standardized here is the Aga fights.
Yep, so we will see the same fight for both runners here. That's the case for not only Aga 1 but also Aga 2 and Ganon on the first go around. If you happen to die in any of those fights, then the RNG kicks in and it'll be different for you. Seeing prdwong. As always, you start off, you get a fireball that reflect black. Next 3 are fireballs or blue balls, such as that one. There's a lightning attack that follows, and then it resets back to fireball. 3 attacks, either fireball or blue balls, and then lightning.
So 2 in that first cycle. As you said, these are standardized between the runners, so they'll both get the exact same pattern.
Great. So the maximum number of blue balls we can get is 15.
That's 3 so far.
It's one of our fun guessing games, is guessing how many you might get. There's one more here. And it looks like it's going to be 3.
Yeah, I think it should be 3 because the next shot should kill Aga.
Right. There we go. 6 shots. Aga goes down, does a break dance, spins around, and sends you to the door.
Alright, let's see that ledge. Just a heart container.
Yep.
Yeah, PRD is going to go for the item dense spot, which is pod. Which, because you have the bow, at minimum you'll have access to 4 items. Though without the hammer or mirror, it can be pretty ugly around it. There's our map check.
Yep, the last pendant's at Turtle Rock. Yeah, pendant's at Turtle Rock. So I missed the 5-6 crystal there, but I want to say I think it was Swamp Pod, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's what chat's saying. I think that's what I saw too.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going into Pod. I have to pay Kiki 110 rupees, which they have more than enough of. I think they got at least 300 packs so far in this seed. So next piece of progression, we could find a hookshot, we could find a hammer, we could find a mirror, we could find mitts. There's a lot.
I was gonna say pendant TR is usually a welcome sign, unless you have to go into pendant TR to get an item.
Alright, no key in that first chest, so this is a bow-locked pod.
Yeah, very interesting here. One of the things to keep in mind is that there are 4, I believe it's 4 keys in the front of pot. It's 4 keys in the front, and then there's 2 items. Oh, I'm trying to remember what the exact number is.
4 keys in the front, and then 2
Right.
other chests, but which can also be keys.
Right.
So
Minimum 4 keys.
yeah, the only thing that's a little tough about this is because, like I said, they don't have hammer or mirror. They're either gonna have to death warp or walk back. I think we're gonna see PRD set up a death warp. Yep, intentionally running into enemies and stuff. Okay, so everything else in the front is keys at this point. They're small keys to be exact.
that's a nice little death warp there from prdwong.
So we don't have to worry about this big key chest. That's guaranteed a small key at this point. There's a small key guaranteed down there. Purdy, you're going to leave it alone. You can just come back later and grab that before the boss if you need to.
Yeah, because you're going to have to come back anyways, so...
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, Nep's going to do the exact same thing, set up a death warp. Good thing that piece of heart didn't give him a health refill. Oh, I don't think PRD was paying attention to the logic here.
Yep. There's another key. No surprise.
So yeah, we gotta figure out what is our next item. Like, there's a lot of stuff it could be. It's gonna be interesting to see what they get. As Nep sets up another death warp. Yeah, this is why this is rough to route without mirror hammers. You just have to do a lot of death warps.
Yep. The mirror just kind of makes it less of a hassle.
Now we're in the back of pod. There's two more keys out, two more small keys, a big key, and then some other items back here. That was our first actual item. No, that was our second. We saw a piece of heart, and then the heart container.
Key in the U-shaped room, and another key.
Okay, so that means the chest south of here will be something that's not a key.
Correct.
This is where it's just good to know your pod's logic. To know where your key counts are at and know what could be in logic, what's not. It'll save you some time. There's
Ooh, yep, that's good. Titan's mitts.
That will open up a bit more of the world to them.
Yes, indeed. Of course, I had a couple questions in chat about which sprites our runners are using. Always a nice moment to mention that there's tons of different sprites for the randomizer you can pick from. There's the big key as well in the top left chest in Dark Maze. On the right there, prdwong, according to Lightyear, mentioning that... Oh, and there's the boots as well in the bottom right chest, so definitely picking up some items here to help us go faster. But prdwong, thanks to Lightyear for tipping us off on this. Using Cylon from Lufia 2. So the map is in the big chest. Of course, Sailor Nep using the Sailor Moon sprite. Personal favorite of mine. It's the one I also use.
So Mitts and Boots gives us access to, first of all, the Project King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I'll say my favorite. I usually go with Dragonites. That's been my go-to for at least a few years now. Let's see what we got in King's Tomb. This piece heart. So with that, I think their next destination is going to be Skullwoods because Fire Rod and the sword, you can get through Skullwoods right now.
I think that's a pretty wise call there, JP. We might also see some Village of Outcasts plays as well after that, but yeah, Nep's going to Bonk Rocks.
Just 300 rupees. prdwong might go check Lumberjack. I don't think he ever did.
Nope, he did not. Also, because he didn't go up Death Mountain, it went straight to Lost Woods. So yeah, this will be Lumberjack. Let's check. It's gonna be blind. It's gonna be a blind check. Okay.
Yep. It was just 10 arrows in here, I believe.
Yeah, 10 arrows.
Yeah, I definitely think you do Skullwoods here first because you don't want to necessarily go into Thieves Town without the hammer if you can help it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hold off too long at Thieves Town, but at the same time, if you got some easily available checks you can do before Thieves Town, you'll take them.
Not a bad decision on that, and of course having that Fire Rod does mean that we can take down Mothula.
Now, I'm wondering, is PRD going to go do a ped check here because of how he's routing this?
That's absolutely a possibility. Yeah, I think so. I think you called that one there, JP.
It's unlikely to be someone with Turtle Rocket Pendant, but you never know. Let's see.
Is this the bad place? Nope. It is not. And is dead. Just 10 arrows on ped.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, that might make PRD feel a little behind because of that Eastern clear, but they both cleared Eastern, so that's going to be a wash on their side, on each side.
Yeah. I know chat's always a little disappointed when it's not ped, but if you're a runner, kind of don't want to have to do that.
So I believe Nep went straight. Well, she did the middle check and then went straight to the back, which is generally common. If you got to kill Mothula, might as well just do the back first. And
yeah, do the hard part first.
Yeah, you might get both items and not have to touch the front at all, or you might get nothing, but you still have to do it anyway.
Right. Or you make it one item and then you're just like, I just have to pull one more thing out.
And it's also a little more advantageous that Samaria. That room before this was a bit easier.
Gotta be a little careful here with that magic.
There's a fairy at least.
That too. I was a little worried about the magic because getting kind of low there. Nep didn't have a refill. We only have that red potion. Now we gotta do Master Sword fight with Mothula. Super fun.
Now, in a lot of cases, you could push a boss into the spikes and maybe do a little extra damage. Not in this one, though.
Right. Mothula, for all the things that has happened with this game as far as like coding stuff, they did kind of code Mothula to be able to not get damaged by the spikes, which is good news. Bad news was they did it by making the spikes equal a, I think it was the butter sword.
Yep, the gold sword.
Yep. And so in the olden days, before you would have that, if you got all the swords early and you came to Mothula, it turns out that yeah, gold sword on Mothula. Ooh,
that hurt.
Yeah, that's not good for prdwong. Just wall mastered straight back to the start. Mostly going to just be a time loss situation here.
Yeah, I think he's a little tilted at that point because
yeah,
it's been a little rough for the second time through.
Right.
Well, on that side, I don't think we've seen either item in here yet.
Nope. We'll see here. Here's the big key.
Okay,
Flute! Okay, yeah.
So flute, that puts my area in play, and with that ether, ooh, that's actually interesting. If that ether medallion is for Meyer and prdwong grabs that flute, he has a chance to full clear Meyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
This is where, this is actually interesting because this is where that the play prdwong made could really come into handy.
Here's the second item. Yeah, it's in just the full heart container in the big chest. The ether medallion, for anyone who's wondering, it's on the right side of Desert Palace, which was Boots' Lock.
Yeah, and Nep will eventually go back there. It's just a matter of when she'll go back there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crystal at least, so she's going to go back there at some point just to clear the crystal out. So it's not going to be like that item that's going to elude her, and it might not even need to eat there anyway.
Yeah, I think the expectation here is probably once you get Mirror, and you have everything you need to go do the two back to back. That's probably when you'll see that.
Yeah. Though, the seeds is setting up for one of the general plays I see. I feel like I see more often than not, and that is a hammer sitting in mire.
Mm-hmm. Well, within the realm of possibility.
Oh, there's Ice Rod. Of course, Turtle Rock's a pendant.
Things that you don't want to see for 200, Alex.
Yeah. Ice Rod, you're glad to see it early when it's a crystal, and you hate to see it early when it's a pendant. Actually,
Oh, why are they giving
talking
me Ice Rod? Oh no.
well, it's not quite in logic yet, but talking about things that could happen, Hammer would put that Turtle Rock in play. Yeah, especially if Ether ends up being the Turtle Rock medallion, you gotta start thinking about that Turtle Rock pendant dip.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the Nightmare Fuel situation in this, if for seed logic, is like necessary item on Try Next, and it's a fetch quest item.
Yeah, it's usually pretty ugly. Meanwhile, actually, Nep decided to skip Thieves Town for now with no hammer.
Ooh, that's sort of great.
That does hammer damage, at least.
Well, Stumpy, you didn't let us down today. I'm impressed.
I'm gonna be interested to see if prdwong decides to dip Thieves Town.
Went down's gonna do brewery first.
Yeah, it's pretty standard when you don't have the hammer.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hip Cave, or will it be Trip Cave today? No, Flippers makes it not Trip Cave. Boomerang, bombs, arrow, and the 20.
Now that's another ugly spot for Hammer. Is Hammer could be in Ice Palace now.
Yeah, there are all kinds of evil places where items can be just with the items they have. You could have hookshot and a hookshot cave in the very first chest you can bonk to.
Yeah, though East Death Mountain's not in logic yet, they'll either need the hookshot or the mirror and the hammer. prdwong is dipping Thieves Town as Nep activates the flutes. We'll see what she does after turning into Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Chat talking about the hammer and Swamp Palace, alluding back to that one qualifier. Alright, what does Smith have?
Just some bombs.
prdwong side, no key in the front of Thieves Town, so good. So a little good news. Maybe this is not going to be hammer locked. And Nep is actually going to go clear desert, so she'll get that ether.
Yep.
I don't think the hammer can be in Thieves Town now, because I think for it to logically be in Thieves Town, there'd have to be a key in the front of Thieves Town. But we could still find something else here.
And there's a big key, of course.
Okay, check correcting me. It can also be in the maiden cell and still work as well. So that logic only happens if the key's in the big chest. Nep gonna go straight to Landmola's. This is a standard play. She's already got one item out of here. So
Yeah.
she's just going for Landmola's, see if it has a second. If it doesn't, she'll come back in and find the second.
Yeah, it's not the nothing to worry about too much right now as far as time loss or anything like that. Meanwhile, prdwong now going to go to the back of Maiden Cell and free the Maiden. Sorry, it's something I threw there. Okay, so for anyone who's unfamiliar with this, anyone who's familiar with the game and knows what's about to happen here. Turns out that the Maiden not quite who we think she is.
I haven't been paying attention. Have we seen both the map and compass in here yet?
I think we have. I'm not 100% certain on that. I think I remember seeing the compass. I don't remember if I saw it.
Yeah, chat's saying we saw the compass. So as long as we don't see the map on blind, you don't have to worry about that big chest.
Oh!
There's a nice pull.
Yeah, that is an excellent find for prdwong. Hookshot in the back of Thieves Town.
And chat's saying that could lead to hammers because of where we found that small key. So if that leads to hammer, that might elude Nep for a little bit. Yeah, as expected, Nep's going back in to go right side to get that ether.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you're wondering, if you're new and you're wondering here, and you're like, how is that a crystal that just came out of Nep's pendant dungeon? I thought all light world dungeons were pendants. Well, the pendants and crystals get mixed up as well, and if you take a look at the bottom there, our wonderful tracker for Breeze Ninja has taken care of, as Net picks up the ether, has taken care of marking all of the pendants and crystal dungeons for you. As you can see there, the ones that have a little bit of star, the ones that have a little star next to them, which would be Pendant Tower of Hera is green pendant, and then the Swamp Palace and Palace of Darkness crystals. Those are the crystals are the 5-6 crystals which you need for the giant red bomb to go get to the Pyramid Fairy, and the green pendant is just for the green pendant turn in at Sahasrara. And PRD not picking up the flippers and the bloomerang. Didn't quite catch what the Misery Mire.
Oh, I did not catch it either.
Oh, chat's telling us this. Wonderful folks in chat telling us Bombos. Okay. Thank you, chat. But I figured it wasn't Ether because we didn't see Nep go in. You can bonk across the little gap there that you would normally hookshot across in the vanilla game, but you can also bonk across in the vanilla game. Most people expect hookshot.
Right, so,
And yep.
So Nep is dipping Thieves Town, so she's gonna get this hook shot.
Solid play. I think this is the right thing to do right now. You don't really have a whole lot of options without that mirror. You can't really do much more. So you go clear the dungeons that you can do. In this case, that would be Thieves Town for now. Kind of looking at what prdwong is able to do right now. Without the mirror, you can't do Swamp Palace. Could do Mire. No, wait, you can't do Mire without the Bombos. We could do Mire Shed check here, which I think is going to be the decision. Yes. Still need the hammer, so that locks us out of most of the other stuff. So I think
Yeah, right
it's
now.
quit.
Yeah, without. Yeah, I mean, Death Mountain's looking like it's gonna be the next big play, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be the hammer there. It could be. We still have Ice Palace. That Ice Palace could easily hold it.
Right.
If we find Bombos, Meyer could have it. Where else we got? Swamp, if we find the mirror, technically could have it.
Yeah, Bearder's gonna go get the old man and do a little bit of exploration here on Death Mountain. Yeah, I think at least for Thieves Town, we know where the map is. There's the compass. So I think by process of elimination, we haven't seen the map, which means it's hiding in the big chest, which means we're not going to get it.
It's also a relief to these runners. You never want to leave an item behind in that big chest.
Right. It's such a pain to get to because you have to go all the way back to the dungeon to get down there. But by process of elimination, if you can eliminate some chests that you don't have to open and just eliminate some checks, whether it's in dungeon or overworld, it just makes everything so much easier.
Alright, so PRD checks Spec Rock Cave, which we already knew. And now we're going to see some new checks on Eastern Death Mountain. We've got, I think, at least 14 checks coming up here. 8 on Light Death Mountain and 6 in Dark.
I think that's right, because we get the 7 that are in. Yeah, we'll probably see the 7 that are in Paradox Cave here. And we'll get a peek at what's on the floating island, then Spiral Cave, and then we go do the Dark World checks for Super Bunny Cave. And nope, there's a shield there. Big 20 to start with. Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave. So yeah, that is 14. That's good math. Maybe 15 if there's something on the floating island. Oh wait, no, we can't get to that yet because we don't have the mirror. But we'll at least have the intel to know what's on there.
So Nep gets her hookshot.
Yep. So far, everything kind of coming up not great. Paradox Cave is
was a total
junk.
That was a total bust. On the other side, I think they picked up all 5 of the 300 packs at this point. Nep is gonna pick up the purple chest. This is another spot that could have hammer. Gonna turn in right away. Just a blue rupee, nothing on Light Death Mountain. Just a red boomerang and purple chest. Alright, 6 items left. Next piece of progression, could see the hammer, could see the mirror. We could get the Bomb Boost medallion. But we also could get nothing. And the answer could be Ice Palace.
Could be. I mean, the thing, if you're the other runner right now, you are probably not hoping for it to be like a full clear Ice Palace to go find your item.
There's the hammer.
That's gonna be a bit of a relief there.
So you've got now you can go full clear Ice Palace at least.
Yes.
And
Ether.
Turtle Rock is completable. Now check in. Oops. I don't think that was intended.
They did check PED. So for those who are wondering, they checked PED. prdwong checked PED, I should say, and it was nothing more than a wonderful, beautiful 10 arrows.
I got a spike cave check. So with that hammer, though, now you can go back to Pod and get the last item on Helmasaur. You do have all of Ice Palace that's now clearable. But you also have Turtle Rock sitting there. And Hera. So the question is now, what do you do?
And that's a tough question. We have options. We have some options on what we can do, and it's just
Looked like prdwong wanted to go for Ice Palace, but it's gonna go clear Pod instead.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Ice Palace and just messed up the transition and therefore decided to go to Pod, or if the thought was Pod all along and it was just like, yeah, I'll just go do this the easy way instead of dashing all the way over there.
Now, Pod is, like I said, Helmasaur has one item, so clearing Pod isn't a bad idea right now. Just get it out of the way, get that item. At a minimum at this point, we need Bombos, we need Mirror. I think that might be it. Yeah, just Bombos and Mirror at this point. Let's see what Nep decides to do. She's gonna go for Ice Palace. And that was not an accidental fluke. She's setting up a little glitch for the front of Ice Palace. She also wanted to keep her sword beams, which is why
Yes.
she said.
All right, so yeah, we got a little bit of divergence here, and always really interesting to see an hour in that we have some divergence on what the runners are choosing to do, because the seeds got a little bit of wiggle room here. Obviously, they're both going to go ahead and complete Pod and Ice Palace at some point, but the order is not necessarily written in stone right now.
I think if you're these runners at this point, you want to see Bombos next, and you'd like to see a go mode Mirror, because Mirror just opens up too many spots. But if you get a go mode Mirror, then you don't have to worry about those spots.
Right. So if you're wondering what we're talking about here with the go mode, basically it's the situation where you have all the items you need to complete the game, and you just have to go and complete the dungeons as quickly as possible. And generally, go mode execution for a lot of these dungeons, especially for Ice Palace, Misery Mire, very different. And we just saw Nep there, as she gets the big key, use the Icebreaker glitch with the Canis Maria.
Yeah, it's basically a state where you kind of lodge yourself into the door, and it basically puts you in kind of a state where it basically just doesn't reach to the wall.
Great. So what it does basically, to put it in really simple terms, is how I've explained it, is when you go into a room, there's a little bit of a transition space, and what that does is you're basically stretching that transition space all the way through the wall. So it thinks that the door is in the. The easiest way to explain it is basically it thinks that the door is in the wall, and so it lets you transition through into the room and clip through the wall.
Well, the runner is now in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think we'll see prdwong do it again here. So basically what you're doing is you're using a couple of movements and then the cane to help set up pushing yourself through the wall. I'm gonna flip the switch here. So yeah, that's the expectation is we're gonna see Icebreaker here as well as Nep goes through the end. And a nice start to the fight. Really nice start there from Nep, pushing the 3 Cold Steer puff balls into the top right corner. That's the ideal way to do it. If you can keep him up there, you can do a bunch of damage to him. And some bombs.
So, at this point, we don't really have another crystal dungeon option. I mean, I expect Nep will go for pod next.
Right.
Get that cleared. And at that point, it's a matter of what are you going to do next? I think for Nep, it's actually going to come down to pendant dungeons on Death Mountain. I don't know if she's not. If there's anything. Actually, we still have Catfish sitting out there.
Yep. Catfish has determined races. I've seen it happen, and it is very easy to isolate, especially if you go Fake Flipper Zora early, like we saw both our runners do. Very easy to kind of isolate that because it's not otherwise easy to get to.
Yeah.
As far as routing goes, it's very, very isolated all by itself.
Yeah, that's I think one of the. I think at this point it is going to come down to a pendant dungeon, but that Catfish could come into play. We got 3 items in Hera between Green Pendant and 2 in Hera. 5 in Turtle Rock, though if you're these runners, you kind of don't like Turtle Rock because you don't have the mirror, meaning you have to leave Mimic Cave behind.
And you also don't like it because it's just a really long dungeon.
Yeah, that as well. And if you have mirror, then Turtle Rock is it looks a little nicer, but without mirror, it's another of those like Thieves Town plays without the hammer. prdwong gets Cold Stare down. That is his 4th crystal. Both runners have 4 crystals. Staring up about to get her 5th. prdwong at some point has to go back to Vanished Desert, but he's hoping to just loop that in with finishing up Meyer. Is prdwong going to flute away, or is he going to check some mountain? He's staying on the mountain, so I have to guess this is Hera and Ether Tablet check. And then if there's nothing in there, maybe Turtle Rock. Was Nep going for hammer strats with tempered?
Might have been, yeah.
That might have just been some muscle memory there. Or is prdwong going straight for Turtle Rock and leaving Hera alone? This is an interesting call. Because without Mir, you're definitely leaving Hera out for now. And that's 4 items over there with ether tablets. This could be like, I feel like I'm behind, so I'm going to make this play. I'm just going to hope that Hera has nothing. Or you might just be following the item, saying, I've got everything for Turtle Rock, I'm just going to make this play now.
Yeah, I think that's I don't think that's a bad decision. You know, obviously we're kind of at a point where we're just short on things to check.
Yeah, we are at that point. For prdwong, similar. He's got a few more outstanding overworld, but not much more than Nep does. And this could be a critical moment in the seed right here, as Nep is going towards Hera. So if Nep finds something in Hera, that's a big advantage for her. If there's nothing in the Hera area, then this could be an advantage for prdwong. So only 2 items in Hera, but there is the green pendant.
Yeah, that green pendant. We really haven't talked too much about it, JP, but that green pendant turn-in is on the table. Ooh, mushroom.
Okay.
Fetchy quest.
Fetch quest Hera. That's the first item in Hera. prdwong doing the Hera pot glitch to get upstairs quicker. 1 item left in here. Hoping it's not in that big chest, because that would take a while to get to. So just a spin, well, 2 spins here. Spin and a splash also. Spin and a slash also works. And we find the mirror.
Wow.
That's huge for Sailor Nep.
Yeah, that's. It's for prdwong. Unless Bombos is in here, not good.
If Bombos is in here, I don't think he's in any better shape.
No, not really, but yeah.
And actually, Nep's not going for Turtle. Actually, now Bombos being in here is good. If Nep decides to put off Turtle Rock and Bombos is here, prdwong is probably going to be funneled to Hera sooner than Nep would come to Turtle Rock. So this might not be bad for prdwong yet. He actually at this point he needs Bombos here. Because that mirror unlocks more than that Bombos would. Because, you know, Nep's next play now is going to be to go to Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, turn that mushroom first. Oh, there's Bombos!
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, we're in what we call no mode.
Yeah, we're in no mode where we know where all the items are. I have a feeling in my gut that we may be in go mode here sooner rather than later. In particular, I think PRD is going to go to. I think he's going to have to get forced to go to Hera and find that mirror.
Yeah, I feel like prdwong is going to get forced to Hera before Nep gets forced to Turtle Rock.
Right.
It really depends on how much overworld Nep wants to do. But she's about to full clear Swamp, most likely.
Yep. And prdwong is not going to do that. If it's Hera and it's Mirror next.
Actually, I make a good point. Purity is also going to be spending some extra time in Turtle Rock.
Right.
And is likely also going to full clear Meyer, though big key location might equalize Meyer out a little bit. We'll have to see.
Valid points all around. We do have a lot of decisions that have to be made here for both runners.
You know, Purity, he's got to be very careful. He's down to 1 heart going into the Trinex fight. I think any hit from anything will kill him, and yeah, he's going to use his red.
I like that. Take your safeties, do the things that you need to do to survive. But yeah, this seat got very interesting, and it feels like it's getting very, very messy right now as far as, you know, what kind of logic. It's almost telling each player to do 2 different things, and that's how you get kind of like this huge divergence, and things seem a little sloppy and messy. Now, obviously, it's not really sloppy and messy between these two. They know what they're doing, but they're just trying to read these seeds as best they can with the given information. So it can be quite tricky sometimes, because you can easily be led astray by one item.
So, prdwong done in Turtle Rock, as Nep is just starting into what we now know is an empty Swamp Palace.
Save and quit. We will not be going to Hera. So.
Oh, can't go to Hera.
Yep. Can't go to Hera. Yep. Also, that's true. But he's
definitely going to do Meyer first.
Yep. I was gonna say, I didn't know if we're gonna see the long way to go to Hera or if it was Meyer, and Meyer's gonna be the call here.
Yeah, this makes total sense for prdwong too, because it's a crystal dungeon he can finish. So you're gonna do it.
Yep.
So he doesn't know it, but he does not want to see a God Meyer. This is a God Meyer. This is the spot that Nep can make some time upon. Nep is going straight for the back. So if she decides to skip left side, that actually could help her.
And of course, we're seeing a diver down here. Didn't get to see that. Just go left. There's the big key. That's another interesting little glitch there with the canister Mario. Also, can use a bomb to set that up, but basically you set up a jump down so that you don't splash through, and it's kind of like setting up a water walk, but different. Kind of get the same result out of it, where you're basically not in flipper state and you can walk on water for that one room.
There's our first item in Meyer, a piece of hearts. Nep takes on Argus. Nice Argus fight by Nep. And there's a compass, so we know at least one item on the left side. If Nep leaves, she can save a little time. There's the big key in Meyer. No, she's going back in. Oh yeah, chat bringing up a good point. That opens up Pyramid Fairy for Nep, as well as, and there's a route to check Graveyard Lich and Catfish easily in there. Oh, the shovel.
Oh no.
Well, that is both items. So, prdwong gonna head to Vitreous at this point. So, in terms of how much time prdwong's spending in here, he's not going to be spending that much more than Nep will be. After this for PRD, I gotta wonder where he's gonna go. At this point, he's got a few overworld spots, and then back up at Hera. So it's looking like PRD's gonna get funneled to Hera before Nep gets funneled to Turtle Rock.
I think that's, yeah, that seems about right here. Just based on what PRD has left to do, you know, even going and completing Desert Palace at this point, saving and quitting after this, and just coming back to the Desert Palace and get that crystal. You know, you have to think that maybe that's a quick play here without the mirror, but you know, just get that out of here so you don't have to come all the way back to Desert Palace again. But yeah, still needing to get that mirror. Can't go into Swamp Palace.
He's got to be careful. I think
Yep.
the lightning might one-shot him at this point.
Yeah, it would do 4 hearts of damage. He's at 3.5, so it's just gotta be careful.
Yeah, once you get the eyeball out, just 8 arrows to it, and it's over. Fifth crystal for prdwong. He's still a crystal behind, but he's got a clear of desert to do at some point. Now for Nep, I think she's going for, well, she's going to go check some of these mirror spots she didn't check, and I think then we're going to see a Pyramid Fairy play.
Yep.
And, oh yeah, okay, prdwong's going to go check the shovel immediately. Makes a lot of sense. There's our 10 bomb pack. And I think this is going to be a purple chest and hammer pegs check for prdwong next. Actually, he picked up the cape at some point. I don't know if we ever saw Bumper Ledge either.
We did not. We have not seen Bumper Ledge.
A little surprising that they had the cape in Light Worlds. I think at this point, this race really comes down to who makes their climb up the mountain first. Sailor Nep or prdwong. Yep, after the pyramid check, looks like we're probably going to see a Graveyard Ledge check into a Catfish check.
I think all that just makes a lot of sense. If you're looking at the logic here, you're kind of trying to figure out, you know, okay, what do I still have that's available? Both runners are kind of going through and checking everything they can at this point.
And this looks like it for prdwong.
Yep, I think PRD's just said, you know what, let's go to Hera. We'll see if it's up there.
At this point, it's his densest check. He's got 4 items essentially up here.
Yep.
But similarly for Sailor Nep, I mean, Turtle Rock is at some point going to be her most efficient check. She's gonna turn into Screen Pendant first, though.
Yep.
I think for this to be a close race, Nep might need to go to back up Death Mountain now.
Yeah. Because it's pretty deep.
That's
gotta be so frustrating. That's gotta be so frustrating.
That has to be the most frustrating thing. You see a coin. Oh, she might be going for it.
Yeah.
So we might have a race here.
It is not. Yeah, definitely not over yet. Yeah, we're getting. There's an ether tablet check for PRD. Nep's gonna be going into TR without a doubt. That's gotta be the play at this point. You can't do anything else. And prdwong into Tower of Hera still has to complete Go Mode Swamp Palace and finish off Desert Palace here. So
yeah, this is tough to call.
This is gonna be really close getting into GT, I think.
Yeah, I think this one still could go either way. This is gonna be interesting to see how it goes. prdwong not gonna Herapot, so that's gonna cost him a little bit of time.
Well, maybe just remembered that about the Herapot. You know, to be totally honest, I don't blame PRD for forgetting about this right now. You're at this point. It's an hour 25 and you're looking for a mirror. You haven't found it yet. You don't know where it is. It's frustrating. And when you get that frustration, sometimes you just like, you make a mistake.
Also, Jeff pointed out he didn't have a big key to go that route anyway.
Right. It's especially the case too if you've been playing for a while like these two have been. You know, sometimes just that old muscle memory and the old logic just pops in and you're like, wait a minute, no, that's not how I'm supposed to do this anymore. Alright.
Moldorm fight for prdwong, and he's about to hit Go Mode. And 1 hour, 26 minutes, 35 seconds, prdwong in Go Mode. Nep not too far behind. This actually is going to essentially turn into Oops All Dungeons for prdwong. It kind of will be Oops All Dungeons for both runners. Nep won't be quite at that point, but...
Yeah, so the thing is, it's a 126 Go Mode for prdwong, but... And it's gonna be slightly later for Nep, but they're gonna both have a lot less to do at the end here. It's gonna be very, very quick.
Yeah, I think I give the advantage right now to prdwong. I think he's slightly ahead.
Yep.
Because, I mean, just thinking about it, he's gonna get through. PRD's gotta do deserts. Nep's gonna have to do Mire, but for prdwong, Swamp is a straight shot. He doesn't have to win anything. He has to go to the boss and finish it. Nep's gonna have to look for the big key in Mire.
Yeah,
but
so
we're still in the range though, where GT routing or execution, all that can still come into play. Also, prdwong remembering to grab that key after using the one originally.
Oh yeah, that's something too. You've got to have a good memory when you're making decisions like that in rando. That if you go steal that big key early, you have to remember to go back later and make sure you have a key when you go into here.
So Nep just has to get through the Poke Room, go outside. She'll probably check Mimic Cave because it's on the way. And then she'll get the Bombos and Crystal Roller Room.
Yeah, as soon as that happens, it's gonna be out, like out of the dungeon, just away. Go to Misery Mire.
Meanwhile, prdwong, Desert's down. That's his 6th crystal. He just has a go mode swamp to do. Sailor Nep, she is gonna check this chest. A lot of runners will do that. Then she'll go back for Mimic Cave. Unfortunately, the Bombos is the next chest in Turtle Rock. Alright, so Sailor Nep's going to be going at about 30 seconds here.
Great. So really, actually, a little bit closer than we thought, but it's going to be about 4 minutes behind. And Go mode Swamp Palace is going to be quicker than Go mode Misery Mire. Yep,
There's
the mirror.
Bombos. Yep, Nep's out.
Mm-hmm.
Not playing it safe. Plus, I think she wants Sword Boost in front of Mire. So I'll be refilling her magic. She might not have enough magic to even get into Mire. I'm not sure where her magic is. No, she definitely didn't have enough magic. She needed to do that. So the big key in Mire was in the lobby chest.
Yes.
Well, chat bringing up an interesting point. PRD does have to be a little careful in his zero count at 8. That can be a bit iffy for GT. Depends on if you need to do Ice Arm most really, but yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
That's an excellent point. You really have to have some good arrow management going up in the GT, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're trapped needing arrows and then you don't have any. And you have to go all the way back. Chat's been like, oh yeah, here you get some more arrows from bed.
There's a few arrows here actually, but not gonna grab those.
Nope. Gotta go fast. Gotta go really fast. And of course, here's Argus. Just a moment from prdwong. I'm still looking for that big key in Misery Mire. It's gonna use the Fire Rod option here. 2 shots, and then just missed the spin. That was going for the single cycle and just missed it. But still a pretty good fight, and that's crystal number 7 for prdwong. So, JP, you want to talk a little bit about the fun little game that's coming up here in a moment?
Yep, with 7 crystals, we should be starting this any second now. Wait for the bot to start, but there's 22 chests against Tower. One of them has a GT big key. Get your guess in chat, 1 to 22, once the bot starts. And if you have the guess right first, we'll put you on our leaderboard. And if you also want to get some chance to double up here, we also have a prediction going on in the another prediction going on in the chat.
Yes, indeed. course, the prediction in the chat is it going to be an odd location or an even location for the GT Big Key. So that's with your channel points. You can do that right now, and that'll close in a moment here when that ticks down.
Well, Nep's still working through Meyer. She's almost to Vitreous. Looks like she's probably going to be 2.5 minutes behind.
Yeah, pretty close there. Using the spooky action glitch to get through the dark rooms in Meyer pretty quickly. Now again, this could still... There's still some routing decisions here that are going to come up. This PRD is just about to enter GT, so we're about to stop the game here.
Nep's got Vitreous down. This will be her 7th crystal. Here we go in GT. Chest 1, 20 rupees. Chest 2, a map. Gotta go left. Location 3, a small key. As Nep begins her climb up the mountain.
Yep, so for anyone who's wondering what we're counting off of, we're counting off of prdwong, is they were in here first, so we count off the first entering runners chest locations. There's 4. 5 is the answer. Hey, and there we go.
At this point, it's all execution the rest of the way for prdwong. Nothing else you really would want at this point.
Yep.
I mean, there are a few things that might be nice. You might like some half magic or powder, but you're not going to look for them at this point. Run out of arrows, but
yep.
There's 5 right there.
Yes, indeed. So our winner was Rock Blada, who just a moment ago in chat said, "I voted odd, and I always lose, so vote even." Well, Rock, congratulations, you won the guessing game today. So you guessed right on the dot.
You know, Nep is about to enter GT. Yeah, she's going to be about a little over 2 minutes behind. She can make up a slight amount of time if she goes straight left, but at this point, PRD is in the driver's seat here. I mean, so far for this race, it basically has come down to which item each of them found first. Nep finding Mirror first ended up hurting her a little bit, whereas prdwong finding Bombos first limited his locations a little more.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, JP, it's kind of the, if you want to find something like that in that situation, you want to find the one that's going to limit your options, which sounds kind of counterproductive, but you want to kind of be forced to go to where your next item's going to be.
There's the big key for Nep. She's going to begin her climb.
Yes, indeed. And actually, prdwong having a little bit of difficulty here on Lamola. It's not going to die or anything like that, but you know, just a little bit of a slower gauntlet, slower Lamola's fight here. So a little low on health too. Should be okay. I think so. It's the blue potion. Most satisfying room in the game, part 1. Kill the Stelphos. Gets a nice refill there, so that'll be helpful. And most satisfying room in the game, part 2. Nicely done. So Nep is a couple floors below. If you're PRD Wong, all you're thinking right now is just execute, execute, execute.
Yeah, you have no interest in opening chests. You have 2 keys. You don't have to worry about those. Just keep going.
Keep going. Don't push yourself into a mistake, but go fast.
I think we're gonna see some fake. We might see some fake powder here. Nope. I think get the mushroom out. I think you would have actually pulled the smart out if you wanted to do fake powder.
Yes. And now we've got the second Moldorm fight, all taken care of. Hookshot is going to go across to the very last chest that we will encounter today. Not going to check it. Not going to take the time. Don't blame him.
Nep with a much nicer land mode 2 fight. Well, she's almost out of magic, so she's got to. Oh, she's gonna use a blue. Okay.
Still got that blue safety. And now the Aga 2 fight. Here's an opportunity for if there's a little bit of possibility of a difficult layout here, and yeah, he only gets 1 on that first one. But this is gonna be nice. This will be at least 2. Yep.
A little close in that second one, but you did get 2.
Another 1. Mark 4. There we go. Oh, there we go. There's the 1, 2, 1, 2. Marching in time here. PRD Wong gonna walk right up to Ganon and say, "You're going down, big pig."
Alright. prdwong falls into the Ganon fight as Southern Nep's approaching Moldorm 2. PRD does have to be careful. He has at 3.5 hearts. A trident hit, a fire bat hit in phase 2. He's got to be careful, folks. He does have to keep out for safety. He's going to use it. I think he still has a blue left.
Yeah, I don't think we saw his blue get used. We're gonna use that cape to get through the fire bats. Gotta be really careful here. Get some warps. Right. There's his blue potion used.
He's through the most difficult part of it, and now it's just a matter of those 12 spins to finish it.
Find the arrows on Planet Zebes. Nope, because this isn't SMZ3 rando. Of course, that's just a nice little flavor text here because you're not actually in the game. But now we're seeing these sword spins here on Ganon. Final phase. That's how we do this. Silverless. And time these sword spins just right, so when he's warping is when you hit him. It's about halfway done. Trying to set up. It's easier to set up more spins on the bottom here, so that's why you see a lot of them wait until Ganon warps back down to the bottom because you can more easily set that up. Yep, yeah, I just missed that one there, but should be getting pretty close. There we go. Those GGs in chat here for PRD Wong, finishing up the Ganon fight as Sailor Nep drops in for the Ganon fight. And gonna walk across that bridge, and that should be it. Yes, indeed. We have a win here for PRD Wong with an official race time, that GG time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, 28 seconds. For this seed, I will say that's a pretty good time, given what it wanted you to do.
Yeah, like I said, it kind of turned into Oops All Dungeons for PRD Wong, but he does come out as the winner of this one, as he actually joins us in chat now.
Hey, GG's.
GG's, congratulations, PRD. How you doing, bud?
Okay.
that was just even commentating and watching that was a frustrating seed. I don't blame you for feeling a little exhausted after that one.
Actually, yeah, it was really uncomfortable because I think for the last hour or so, I really needed to do some bodily functions.
Oh yeah, and that can be that is a thing too that comes across with Rando. Sometimes nature calls, and you're just like, not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. How you? Other than that, how are you feeling after this race here?
I mean, I didn't get to see all of it, but it seems like it played out the way that I was thinking. I was thinking that I needed Nep to find the mirror someplace and get distracted doing a bunch of those checks, and then I could probably pull ahead that way.
Well, speaking of Nep, she's gonna get those GGs in chat for her because she's just gonna cross the line right now with a 1:45.11 as the race time that GG time. And I love that message. Well, that just happened. That was kind of a pretty good explanation of what just happened. But yeah, we had quite the adventure here, all throughout. So, was there anything that kind of prompted you to go to Turtle Rock in the first place?
Yeah, the goodies in Desert Palace that I that sequence broke. I know it wasn't very useful because we found the boots soon after, so the Samaria and Ether were, I figured you'd probably get them pretty soon after. But I went through all the effort to find them, and I was like, I hope they're useful. And then when I saw Turtle Rock was Ether, I was like, okay. Even though it wasn't really sequence broken anymore, I was like, okay, let's do something here.
And we are also joined by Sailor Nep, GG's Nep.
GG's, thank you.
Yeah, we were just talking with PRD for a little bit here. That was a little bit of a rough seed with some of the logic of where it was trying to point everyone to go. Just some really kind of awkward checks with Mirror being in Hera and the Bombos medallion being within Turtle Rock. So, how you feeling after this one?
I feel okay with the way I played it. I pretty much just made the decision. I'm just gonna mostly play the safest strats the whole time. I hope it works out for me, and I just committed to that. And it seems, if I had to guess based on what I was looking at on the trackers on the restream, it seems like the big difference is our Go mode items were swapped. And so as a result, I did a lot of time costly checks, and that's okay. There's no way to know for sure. Like, TR could have been empty, Swamp could have had it, it could have been in some random spot like Hammer Pegs. You never know.
Yeah, I think PRD, we were talking about this just a little bit before Nep got into the chat here, but you were hoping very much for Nep to find the mirror first and then do a couple of extra mirror checks to make up for some of the time early on.
I mean, when I found the location, or at least when I got down to, just a few locations left for mirror, I thought, okay, if you found mirror first in one of these locations and then kind of took a while to get the bombos, I thought, okay, then that puts me in kind of a better position.
Yeah, I was having all sorts of thoughts about things that could work out for me, and every time they just dashed my hopes. Like when I made that extra trip to desert before doing Aga against my gut, I found Kane Samari, and I thought, oh, if boots end up being a pendant TR, if TR is a pendant and it goes that way, that would be so good for me. And then just never happened.
Cool. JP, did you have anything that you wanted to really ask them at this point? maybe having a little
Yeah.
bit of a mic issue here, maybe. But yeah. So yeah, this is obviously game one of a 3-game series between you two here in the second chance bracket for Group M. PRD, obviously you're up 1-0 right now. So kind of any thoughts about the next game that's coming up between you two? And I know I'm not gonna. You just kind of looking forward to it. Maybe I know I've seen a lot of the 12:09 a.m. Has that been this group that's been doing those? I'm trying to remember, like, because someone's been doing the 12:09 a.m. So I'm like, maybe hoping for a not such a late race next time, just to kind of help out.
No,
Or I don't know.
We'll
Maybe
do more 1209s.
more 12:09s.
That works
All right.
for us.
You got to give the people what they want, I guess, right?
Yeah.
People crave Rando After Dark, and we'll give it to them.
It's good though. That way, you cover more of an overall schedule, and then when people can't tune in live, that increases their chance they can find something to watch.
Absolutely, that's a very valid point, Nat. But yeah, I don't know if see if we get JP back here. I know us. Oh, there you go. Oh, Mike was working for a moment there.
Yeah, so I just think I had another internet hiccup. Well,
Yep.
I have to say 4:04 menu time for prdwong. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Menu
I did
time
have to
not
open
found.
it a couple times.
Yeah. Actually, this is kind of surprising. Only a 155 collection rate for, like what I said, basically was an Oops All Dungeon seed.
I mean, yeah, you get to skip all the mirror stuff. It's quite a bit, and then the GT Big key was pretty early on.
Yeah, that is true. I think you only checked essentially, well, yeah, 5 locations in GT. So that's basically with Swamp skipped as well. That's 30 some checks between those two, like 35 checks between those two by itself.
Yeah. But I think I'll still have an uphill battle for me on the next games. Sailor's definitely, she's pretty good.
It's okay though, because so I have one thing in these main tournaments. Every time it's a standard start, which in this particular one it always is, but if it's a standard start and the starting item is the bow, and I check the map in Eastern's Pendant, that always spells doom for me. So I'll just save everyone time and forfeit if that happens again. Not really, but I'm gonna want to.
Yeah, I gotta imagine you both felt behind early when you went to Eastern and it turned up empty. But
Yeah.
You both did make the same check there.
Right.
Yeah, I was disappointed, but I figured, I mean, we would both do it. So I didn't feel behind. I just was like, just a waste of time on both ends.
So I gotta bring this up quick. Meanwhile, Sailor Nep has the 0 menu time.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, your collection rates are actually pretty similar. 157 out of 216 for Sailor Nep, 155 for Yurdy Wong.
That sounds about right, because I also just never touched like Laser Bridge, and some of the mirror checks were plain side items that I didn't pick up.
I think
I
it's like
think the only thing I had left was Catfish.
Yeah, neither of you checked Catfish. I think that's the one overworld spot we never saw.
I didn't check Catfish because after fully doing the light world and then finding everything in pod, I was just like, you know what, I'm just treating myself to one skip. And then after Pyramid Fairy, I still didn't do it because I was like, well, if Bombos is here, then I lost. So I just kept rolling with it.
Oh, okay. I was going through the same thing. I was like, well, I think probably she'll go for Catfish first and then do pod. So I'll try to gain some time back and just never check it.
Now I kind of wish Bombos had been there just because it would have been very funny. we both would have felt like we lost.
So looking at the schedule, looks like game 2 for you two is scheduled for basically Thursday night / early Friday morning. As I said, it's gonna be game 2. Sailing up, you're gonna need to win to force game 3. prdwong gets a win to go to the tiebreaker game, or tiebreaker series to be more exact. Any final thoughts as you finish this one up and head for that game 2?
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me. But thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Yep, same here.
Yeah, thanks for racing for us. Make sure to give these runners a follow if you haven't. They're regular racers of the game, so definitely make sure to give them some support. Thanks to our tracker as well, Febreze Ninja, who kept track of all the items, and thanks to Neon Tiger for commentating with me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for hopping in here, JP. Always love working with you and working with everyone else here.
Yep.
We'll just make this real quick. Stay tuned. We got many more of these races coming up. A lot more tomorrow morning. Good night, everyone. Remember, someone out there loves you. We love you too. Take care of yourselves and everyone else around you. Be kind to yourself, and we'll see you soon. Till then, bye.